to KQBH, Los Angeles, California, on 101.5 FM, a community service of the Boyle Heights Arts Conservatory, broadcasting live and streaming on your FM dial and kqbhla.com. What's up, guys? My name is PBP. I'm your host for the hour here of LA Lifestyle. I'm back. You already know we be tapping in every second and fourth Thursday out here on the local community station. And tonight's going to be a very fun, very interactive episode. I've been trying to get this one going here for a minute. I'm very honored to know this individual. I'm very thankful to know this individual. And it was kind of like a late notice. People have been busy. I like to see everyone expanding and going and handling bigger things to get them in the proper step forward. So, respect to the hustle, respect to the upbringing. Shout out to you guys, and I'm glad I at least know you. But without further ado, I want to introduce my guest tonight. I've had the opportunity not only to rap with him, freestyle with him, drink champagne with him, and do a lot of other things with him and go tap in at open mics. Someone who's very, very active within the greater Los Angeles community. Someone that is very, very, how do I say it, man? There's got to be a word for it. Champagne, do you think for proactive, is there a synonym for proactive?
Getting to it.
Getting to it. You just heard his voice. The one, the only Champagne Aramis is in the building.
What's the big old deal, PvP?
You know what the deal is? You're the deal tonight. You're the deal for the hour.
Hey, let's get it. Let's get it,
yes, sir.
Man.
How you doing, man?
I'm solid. I'm vibing.
How was the drive out?
It was smooth. It wasn't even bad, honestly.
Yeah.
I tipped out at a good time.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, I was trying to time my drive into town tonight. I was trying to figure it out, so I was like out there bouncing around. I was like, 710. What should I be doing? 6. You got to pick your routes right. Especially like with music and like the way we move on these freeways, because every decision could be costly. You know what kills me the most is you thinking like the 710 is gonna be your way to get here quicker, and then it just eats you by the you know what. But what's been else is new? Any new shows or any new music or albums or anything like that you've been dropping? I see you just did some stuff with DJ Keys. Shout out our boy Keys over there.
My boy Chef Keys. Shout out to him.
Yeah, definitely. You guys just did an EP or what? The project that you just dropped?
Yep, the Taster EP. It's called The Taster. Me and my boy Chef Keys. He produced the whole thing. It's like 5 tracks. You can go get that on all streaming platforms. If you want to, support me in the real way, you can go to Bandcamp. Tap in with me. Bandcamp.
Hey, Bandcamp's the real way.
Pay what you want. Definitely pay what you want. So, I'm not even obligating you to be set at a certain price. Just come rock with me, however you feeling.
Definitely. And I remember too, maybe we can tap in here just how the whole PvP Champagne Aramis even started off. So let's really think back here. I think it was was it Exhibit?
It was Exhibit.
Sure. OG Exhibit though. 2021, 2022.
22, yep.
22, early 22, March, somewhere around there. Yep. And I think it was it was me and Merk, and we were hanging out. And you were just there vibing. I think that was what it was. We had Huggy in that mix, and you had already been rocking with them, because I remember you were one of the original artists that were showcased. It was Up Your Game before it was Exhibit.
Where was the Up Your Game?
That was over. It was over in those. It was these storage, it was a storage kind of setup.
Shit, probably. I've definitely been outside.
You've been doing too many. It was funny too. My lady earlier before, she was like, "Is he the one that we saw at Love and Laughter?" I was like, "Yeah," because you and me had did that show together when we performed at Love and Laughter.
Oh yeah, and
a couple years ago. That was August 22.
That was August. Yeah, that was fire.
That was fire.
In that backyard, that was fire.
It was like boho. It was almost like a zen little kind of boho chic.
Side note, was it? Side note?
Yes, the side note, man. Tap in, man. Shout out to the side note out there. That's Anaheim, California.
Yeah,
that's over there. That's out in the OC. So they got a good little open mic, and they're a full recording studio too. They got 2 studios. They do events, private events too. So if you're trying to tap in with that, and then we started doing. I remember when we really tapped in, and we did it was Season Fest. That first
season fest.
That first season fest is where we
part
really,
of that one.
yeah, we were really rocking
And the
there.
second one.
Yeah, and the same. I ended up going from playing and performing at the first one,
So,
and then to being the host inside at that
second one. Yeah.
Oh man, that stage. I remember we had. Oh man, that was so crazy. I remember we had these promoters and all these managers and like all these people like is everyone at your stage? Why aren't they seeing my artist outside? And it's like, 'cause we keep it lit in here. Like,
keep it high. Gotta keep it toasted.
Yeah, you gotta keep the energy high. And I remember that was like the biggest thing I knew coming out of that year at that time, because I always like to look for things towards the end of the year. And just to dive into a couple questions here, what is something you do to really like kind of elevate like your next push or your next project? Like what is it that you use? Do you use anything from like the community? Do you use maybe like a spiritual connection or anything like that to motivate yourself?
It's more like a preparation. It's always just preparing myself, because I'm always knowing like it's gonna be some obstacles in the way. Move around them, jump through them, go over them, whatever you gotta do, type ish. But definitely just keep the motion, being prepared for the motion too. We're being prepared for like somebody else trying to just be just as good as you, or have goals just like you. Don't step in nobody's lane. Always stay to myself. I'm always deciding and making my own decisions. The people around me, they help make those decisions as well, but not as much as my own mental.
Do you let I like that, your own mental. That's one of my favorite ways to put your mental health. Your mental.
Yeah.
And kind of just what I got off from that. Not saying that you let people influence your decisions, but do you observe people's actions to help better understand what you got going on?
Yeah, definitely. Even just from growing up, like seeing what to do right and what not to do wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like overhearing those stories, the good ones and the bad ones. Then once they get like repeated, it's like, all right, should I be making those decisions? Or it's just made it a little easier.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can wean out like the process from like, what is the reality? What is the realm? What is the intention?
For sure.
Like, what is the goal? Like, because obviously, like, you're a family man. I've been blessed to meet your moms and your brothers. I already know the Aramis family. The Ford family is very, very strong in your background.
That's the label. Follow the label. Everybody eats the family.
Exactly. You gotta. My pops told me, man, you gotta remember where you came from. Super, super, super important. Because even for me, where I'm from, they still don't rock with me.
Okay.
So you got to expand a little bit. So
you do.
Do you, aside from your family, did you find more of your like acceptance and your kind of like hey, like come rock with us? Like, did you see that from the outside before the in?
Yeah, it was definitely like just once I decided to start doing music, I started getting music friends. Like prior to that, I didn't really have too many homies doing music. Some of them was outside rocking and doing what they was doing. Progressing just through the music scene if they wanted to do that, or it just fell in their lap and they started doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I know now that I'm like thankful too for like the graces of like the people who kind of just had open arms. The Inland Empire, we got the Orange County area, we got my partners out there, No Limit Kid, shout out to him, shout out to Bravo.
Hey, they're actually rocking a show right down over Broadway tonight. No Limit, like I mean, bro, we've been
catch him right now.
I'm very lucky to right now as we speak. It's getting cracked off. Noah James, it's the first show of his like tour he's got going on
for his birthday.
The Majestic coming up. Yeah, he's got his birthday tour. It's very majestic. The vibe, very majestic.
Man, for sure. Shout out to LA too.
Hey,
they definitely keep me moving forward with like the motion and having
I've seen
kids
you
out
in
here.
all parts. I've seen you over in West LA. I've seen you over in the Valley. I've seen you over in IE. I've seen you at Fullerton. I've seen you down over Long Beach.
Anaheim,
Dolhood.
Houston,
Shout out
Texas.
Well, I ain't seen you out there yet, but no, you've been out there. Was it the South by Southwest you did?
Nah, I definitely wasn't doing South by Southwest.
That was just some mutual, natural love that you
trap
got.
art. It was trap art. So shout out to trap art. They from the Bay. They from up there.
Oh,
so they got started up there, and they was just making their way around the nation, just kind of getting
doing
it
their
popping.
thing.
And they went to Houston, and I was just happened to be out there. And I logged in with them and then
tapped in. That's how.
they was doing art too, like creative, like painting and drawings.
Hey,
and
well, the
selling
Bay's
shoes.
got a really, really big writing scene too. Like, there's a big. I mean, obviously, like with like inspiration from like the Grateful Dead and like all your old like psychedelic rock bands and like
Yep.
all that hippie art and everything. I used to live out in the Bay Area. I was born in the Northern Bay, and then I lived in Santa Cruz and San Francisco area for
Oh,
like
cool.
6 years. So I was definitely like, I saw a lot of. It's more of a. Like, you could do a lot of comparisons on the LA scene and the SF scene, but everyone has
Yeah.
their own purity. So what do you think, to get into our next question here, what do you think the IE and the LA rap scene, what do you think one good quality about each of them sets each other apart from their scenes that they have going on? Because you've been involved with both.
Definitely, I would say the eyes on LA more, and
Definitely.
like the motion and just like everybody wanting to come this way, even if it's just Hollywood, and they don't even know what Hollywood really looks like, and it's like it is what it is. But you go to East LA, you get some talent. You go to West LA, you get some talent. You go to South Central, you get some talent. You start stretching to the outskirts of the county, Long Beach, Compton. You get some talent, and it's like that's what you get, like
Everything.
different perspectives
Yeah.
of Los Angeles County. And then when you go to the IE, you got like different perspectives of the IE, but it's just like talent scattered around where everybody's kind of crawling on each other. And it's
Yeah, that's what I've
like-
kind of seen a little bit. Shout out to of course 60 East Firewater.
yeah, he got motion when it comes to like.
I feel like that's a good place to go catch.
Shout
like,
out to Ontario.
yeah, shout out Ontario. I feel like that's every time I've gone out there, whether it be Thought Fest or it be like a Noah show,
Mhm.
or whether it just be a local something 60's doing or someone's doing a pop up. I feel like that's a good place, but like I see a lot of competitive nature within like the IE more than LA, because LA is more glamorized when it comes to
Yeah,
the music, and I feel like there's more of a dog eat dog. Like it's more like you really got to be able to set yourself apart and define yourself as a hip hop artist when you're over in the IE compared to LA.
facts. But I definitely think there's like room for like
Growth.
everybody's just coming
Yeah.
together and just continue what it is. Like we just had like a Only Empire Awards, and it was like last Saturday, and they were just kind of just rooting them on and giving them awards and shouting us out in manners of like top music video out here.
Mhm.
Producer of the
I
year.
saw
out here.
Cam Gnarly.
Cam
we
doing
got
his-
song of the year,
Cam
right?
doing his thing, song of
Oh,
the year.
yeah, okay.
Same thing I'm stressed with, same thing I'm blessed with.
Yeah.
Yeah, same
Exactly,
thing I'm blessed
man,
with,
and
same thing.
It's really cool. I remember too that same that interaction I told you about when we were at a game night. That was actually the night I met Cam Gnarly.
Oh, okay.
One of my first dabbles with this. I was like sitting in my
Very
car.
talented artist out of San Bernardino.
Yeah, it was me and Mark. It was me, Mark, and the Individuals from Pomona, and we were
Okay.
we were tapping in with Dubs and Up, Shimodi, Aladi's the Great, Westmo Dallas. We were just it was just that real, just like raw, like underground connection, with everything. And just, before we were kind of, closing in on a quick break here really quick, but if you guys are just signing in with us, we are on KQBHLP in Los Angeles, California on 101.5 FM, a community service of the Boyle Heights Arts Conservatory, broadcasting live on your FM dial and streaming on KQBHLA.com. And we're here with my guest tonight, Mr. Champagne Aramis. Is it Colton?
Yee.
Colton? Rialto. Man, I was like, Rialto, Colton. I know you're somewhere
He's
out there.
somewhere over there.
Yeah, but they're next to each other, right?
Yeah, they're like right next door neighbors.
So what are some things you did prior, before Champagne Aramis was Champagne Aramis? What were sports, anything like that? I know you're into riding street bikes.
Yeah, for sure.
I've seen you out there ripping around. That was, I'm gonna say this, that was the most out of the interactions I've had with you. That was the thing that caught me off guard the most.
The street bike riding.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You out there? You were out there on an R1. I was like,
get down type shit.
Get back in the booth.
Type move.
get back in the booth.
Yeah.
So where did you learn to ride? I gotta ask you. I used to race
Naturally, it's just
motocross.
pops. Naturally, it's just my pops. My pops used to ride motocross, like outdoor. Just get
Okay,
in
yeah. I did mine. I had 7 years. I did high school into my adult years. So I did 7 years of racing. So when
Yeah, I
saw
took a class too, though. I went to the little Honda Center right there in like Colton,
Oh.
and then just locked in, for like a weekend, did my thing, gave me a license. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm just giving out licenses like that. Let's
Hey,
rock.
I mean, that's the Department of Motor Vehicles in California. They'll give anybody a license, man.
You feel me?
It makes me sometimes. I'll be like, I feel like I'm a CHP when I'm behind the wheel. Like, oh, I could give him a ticket right now.
Yeah, nah, I ain't telling on nobody.
I ain't no snitch. So how long have you been writing?
Writing music?
Well, that both.
Writing.
Writing music
Writing.
writing.
I've been riding street bikes since probably 2016, 2015.
Okay, and you were deciding, I'm gonna see what's up with this.
Yeah, for sure. Bought one, you know.
And do you have a bike currently?
Nah, I don't have a bike right now.
What
I
was your
smacked one up, and then that's a long story. But anyways,
What was-
I got another bike.
What was the last bike you had that was like hot, like ready to go?
It was an '08 Gixxer.
Oh,
08
ooh,
for
okay.
Sure. It was
Gixxer
all
1000?
white. No, it was a 600. I was getting started. I was still getting started, but I was over it quick. I wanted the 750 after like 3 weeks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, once you get, and then you see what they can do on the bigger one.
Right. They're doing the same thing, but
What's
just a
your
little more power. I'm chilling now. I don't need no street bike right now.
Well, if you were to get back into it, you're focused on the music, the fam. What's your dream bike?
I mean, probably got to be something expensive. Something
Well,
really expensive.
what do you want? Like a Hayabusa? You want?
Nah, not the Hayabusa. I like the Hayabusas. Even though Suzuki is like my go-to, I'm definitely rocking like that. I'm gonna say something like international, like a Ducati or maybe even a Priya. Like, be smash one of those, or Priya 1000. Like.
Oh, okay. Those Ducatis though, that's the thing. I remember when I was first down here, one of the first events. I remember I'd heard a Ducati ripping in, and I was like, "Oh, that's a Ducati coming."
It sounds like a car.
And the guy was like, "How do you know that?" I'm like, "Trust me, that's a Ducati pulling up." And sure enough, you see it coming up. Ducati with that red tank with that silver Ducati on it.
You can hear it. You could just hear the pipes.
The straight pipe Ducati, nothing better. But how long, aside from riding bikes, how long have you been also writing music?
Man, I've been writing music since like 9, like for real.
There you go. Back in that one post you had just shared, playing NCAA college football.
What? Probably before that. I was writing some good stuff then, but I never just jumped in the studio with it. I just
What were you writing back then?
It was just probably some far-fetched
when you didn't get your allowance?
Manifesting. Nah. I ain't even had no beef with my parents, and I didn't also get allowance, so it didn't even matter. But it was always like something I could manifest, I could bring up in the world. Or I heard a rap from like 16, 17 years old. I'm like, yo, I was still talking about a meal ticket. Like, I won $1 million. Like, what am I gonna do with it once I get that?
And what's your age now, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm born in 91.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, 91, baby. Tapped in with us. So like, definitely just keeping it going. Like, it ain't.
So
even
we
like,
got okay. So you say since 9. So
just like
20,
math.
about 20, 24 years then. You say your music journey.
Oh yeah, for sure. Pushing it though, 2020, when I dropped Poppin' and Shopping and Alexander McKing.
Yeah.
Like, once I dropped them 2 singles, I'm like, oh yeah, the feedback from it made me go crazy.
My favorite track by you, that Smooth Operation.
Man,
Smooth.
good looking.
Ooh,
Champagne got me acting rude.
You know what's crazy too? Right there, Champagne got me acting rude. This man's name is Champagne Aramis, and we were talking about Hot 16 Fest last year, Volume 1,
oh, yeah,
bro.
I remember that.
Volume 1.
We're
in Fullerton. We're in Fullerton, so show's going great, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Show's going absolutely superb. We got Afro in the building. The vibes are sold out crowd too. We had that night,
Yeah,
and this guy got the trench coat vibe, and you had a bottle of champagne like tucked in your jacket, and you like look at me like, yeah, man, like, is it okay if I like drink this? And I'm like,
not that you drink it, bring it in.
No, but you were just like so like you were gonna get in trouble if you popped a bottle of champagne and then you got champagne in your name.
Yeah.
That was like when I knew. I was like, this guy's the homie, 100%.
Yeah, I was definitely just trying to respect the space. That was
hey, but shout out to Will over there at Exhibit, and
on me, shout out to Will for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely shout out to everyone over there. That was really how I guess PvP got like his start, bro. Like I just went there, and I think my audience, like they know to the certain extent But that's how I got my start, was over at Exhibit. I remember I rapped over was it Sprinkle Me by E40.
I remember that.
You were there,
I think
man.
I was there.
Yeah, you were there.
Tell
That's
me
the
that.
night we met. I met you, Merc. That's when everything
Yeah,
started popping
started
off 3 years
popping
ago
off,
for me.
okay.
I was like,
Yeah.
I actually had people be like, yo, you can do this.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, shit.
I was outside everywhere, straight from there.
Dude, we were doing, I remember we were doing like anything and everything, bro. We were doing the showcases with Keys over at the Doll Hut.
What?
We were doing, man, bro, we were doing any show I could get my hands on. And I think 2021 and 2022, when I was going that hard and destroying my liver every night, like, you know, I thank you, liver, but like, you know, but it just like, if I would have never, like, you know, been able to get myself there or put myself there in order to meet the people I did, bro, I probably would have never met you, you know?
Man,
So it's
same
like,
here, bro, for sure.
just hustling. And, you know, you said when you were 16, 15, 16, you know, you already had your eye on a meal ticket, you know? So that's like, it already goes to show, like, how much of the hustle and how much,
Yeah, so it take time.
you know? And, you know, so do we have, I know you and Keys, shout out Keys, you all just dropped the EP.
Chef Keys.
Are you, I know you got a lot of singles and a lot of EPs, and do you have like any kind of full length projects or anything you want to kind of dabble on for 2025 before we take a break here?
Oh yeah, definitely. Be looking forward for some LPs coming up in 2025, and more EPs probably coming up at the end of this year. It don't even matter. But 2025, I got something called "Heard It Through the Grapevine" coming up. Heard It Through the Grapevine. That's gonna be a full length. That's gonna be a full length. Get down.
Definitely. And with how many tracks? Like, what, we get over 10? Over 10 on that one?
Over 10.
Okay.
I was thinking 11, but it started turning to like 13, 14. So yeah, it's at 11, 12 right now. But definitely.
Oh, okay. Is that, what do you think? Last question here. What do you think the perfect sweet spot? What do you think the perfect sweet spot for, like, an album is? I see people like LaRussell will just drop like a 7-track called album.
Yeah.
I'll see someone drop 30 tracks called album.
Yeah.
What do you think the sweet spot is?
The sweet spot is definitely like
10 to 13.
10 to 13. I'm gonna say 12 to 13. 12 or 13.
Yeah,
12 or
like
13.
maybe 12 with a couple bonus tracks.
Yeah, and then it's like those can be exclusive. You know, if they enjoy that first little piece, you know, now you can really come support me without having to just stream it. You can get it exclusively. You know, just tap in like that, and that'll make it even more fire.
Exactly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And guys, we're going to be taking our first little intermission here just briefly. We've got our playlist coming up here for the night, our new artist playlist. Oh, that's working like that. Okay, yeah, we got our new artist showcase coming up here momentarily. And like I said, if you're just joining us, we're on KQBHLP in Los Angeles, California on 101.5 FM, a community service of the Boyle Heights Arts Conservatory, broadcasting live on your FM dial and streaming on KQBHLA.com. I'm here with my man Champagne Aramis, all the way from Rialto, California. Came all the way from the Big IE. Let's give it up right now for him right here. Let's go. Guys, it's such a blessing to be out here every second and fourth Thursday with you. We got some big plans this weekend. A few of the artists that we are going to be showcasing here momentarily, we're going to be tapping with them. We're going to be bringing back that Hot 16s, man. Hot 16s is coming back with vengeance, bro.
Okay.
That was the thing, you know, I'll talk on really quick was, you know, where I am today and where I'm sitting today is because of that. And everyone's like, P, man, you got it. You cannot let that one go. Like, what are you doing? That, what you were, what? No. And I almost like 6 months ago deleted everything for that and just said, get rid of it. It never happened. But then I took pride, and like I said at the beginning of the show, you got to remember where you came from, bro. If I never thought none of this.
You got to keep that.
Yeah, that's
lose.
Exactly. So then I decided, hey, you know, we gonna bring back that festival next July. We're gonna do the car show. We're gonna do the art show.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do the food truck alley. We're going to have 2 stages rocking for you. We're going to have all types of genres. I might even give another stage to another collective and let them curate that stage. I don't know.
That'd be tough too.
We got a lot of announcements coming up in January. I already got the stickers and the shirts, you know, so DM me
Right.
if you want something. But I'm very, very excited to play these tracks that we have coming up here. It's awesome when, how do I say this? Have you ever had someone reach out to you from over the internet that you just one day you just look at your phone and you're just like, oh
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
kind of how this situation was. I'm at work one day just minding my own business, and then I'm sitting here like, okay man, I want to get through this day, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, someone wants to link up. All right, cool. Okay, we can bring that back. They sent us a few tracks, so we're gonna definitely spin their tracks here coming up. I know we definitely got that "You and Me" by Adam Cashin. He just dropped his music inspired by love and psychedelics. It's available on all streaming platforms, so make sure you go and check that out as well. And then also too, we have 3 artists over from the East Coast. Shout out to Che. She DM'd me, reached out to me.